Alright, hey everybody, Matthew Moore's Wood Studio. I'm here live in the shop. I just finished putting second coat of finish on this base, right here. And got a few minutes while it's drying. I also finished sanding the tabletop today, and that's up to 220 grit on the top, 320 on the end grain, of course. And yeah, so I'm here to talk about what's going on this project. If anybody has any questions about the Nakashima inspired coffee table build, I'd be happy to answer those. Any other questions about the shop, I'd be happy to answer those as well. Let's see, how do we see comments? Yeah, show live chat messages. Perfect. So just put do the chat, shoot something up. I'd be happy to answer it. In the meantime, I'm going to walk you around the project and fire those questions away. So I'm flipping the camera around, as you can see, and I just finished putting a second coat of finish on the base. So this is all bridle joinery. Down here, the stretcher to this back piece as well. Up here, as you can really see it, of course, this is cut first, and then this space in between is cut to match. And these guys are cantilevered out on both sides. Thank you. And actually, these two cantilevered pieces here on this main section in the back, without this at all, without the support, has more than enough structure to it to support the entire weight of the tabletop if it's balanced properly on top of it. So let me just show you guys some stuff here. These are the butterfly keys I just finished yesterday, or actually the day before, but I finished planing them down and getting them nice and flush yesterday. And these are here to stabilize this crack from growing and continuing down the length of the piece. So I have two of them in. In total, this is East Indian rosewood, if anybody's curious. I'm really loving the crotch figure here and this top. So if you guys have any questions, please fire them off. Tom, thank you. Yeah, I'm really loving it too myself. I'm really liking how everything's coming so far. If you guys want to see anything, you have any questions, Nathan, thank you, I appreciate it. Let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to keep showing you guys around the shop. So this is my new Lee Nielsen bench. I bought this when I got here because I wanted to replace my bench with a new bench, and I didn't want to build one. Didn't make sense because so many other people have beautiful builds on building a bench. This is brand new edition. This is a Fine Turbo 1. And I got it hooked up to a 5-inch random orbital sander right now. And let me tell you, this thing is amazing. But when you add let's see, where can we find them real quick. So these guys here from Diablo, this is just 120 grit, forget the grit right now. This is just like an Abernet pad. And it's no paper backing. And between this and this guy here, absolutely no dust whatsoever. It's amazing. The old tool cabinet's up here in this wall. And actually I've pared down the amount of tools that are inside of it, but it looks pretty similar to what it did before. Some of you may have seen the clamp rack at various times, but here she is. Kind of full. Lumber racks over here. Of course, lights and the camera for the filming. These windows are done, but I need to finish trimming out the window over here. Thanks, I like the cabinet's great too. I appreciate it. Router table, I don't know if you guys watch this build right here for this new cabinet for my small bandsaw that I use for upholstery. Wow, lathe. Now, if you guys own one of these Rockler dust collection systems with a bag hanging off of it, this is an amazing upgrade. This is 1 micron. It does a fabulous job. I'm really liking it. My Multi-routers here. Of course, a lot of us own these rigid sanding stations. They're great. Mortiser, drum sander, new drill press from Delta. I'm really liking this so far. It's really, really, really nice. I'm going to build a cabinet above this craziness because there's too much stuff hanging out over here. That's going to go here. Bandsaws over here. I got some sheet goods just kind of hanging out. This is a cart where I can store stuff during the project. And it's Atlanta, so it gets hot, and this thing does a great job. It's a 2-ton system from Rheem, cooling the shop. Of course, my table saw is here, and I would really love to build an outfeed table right in front of it. I'm still collecting footage so I can do a review on this Laguna, but I really like it. Right now it's telling me that I need to empty the drum, but I actually don't because the bag is all crinkled, and I've tried to get the bags in there right so that this doesn't happen, but I may just abandon the bag because the sensor hits the bag and it thinks that it's full. So it's probably me. But my hammer jointer planer combo machine's over here. This, I think, is the #1 tool in the shop, and it is a dehumidifier with a built-in pump that will empty itself out constantly. It's off right now when I film, but otherwise it's not. It comes all the way up to the corner right here and pushes out of the house and drains outside. That is the #1 tool in the shop. The reason for that is I'm in a basement. There's concrete behind me, which means there's soil behind the concrete. So this is a retaining wall, and we get a lot of moisture and humidity here in Atlanta area and Georgia in the south, and this keeps the shop at a nice constant level of humidity, and that's really important for stable lumber. So let's keep going on the tour. This here has become like a catch-all, and I need a cabinet to organize this. So after I finish this coffee table build, I'm building the cabinet. That will be a video on YouTube. This door kind of goes nowhere. At some point there'll be a pump there when we put the bathroom in for waste. How do you go about pricing a piece like that? Frank, that's a really good question. And let me just answer it this way. So I used to sell pieces. I don't anymore. I used to run a small little ad in a magazine called Robertport. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. And I ran some small ads in some other magazines, $2,500. And I priced the pieces to what I thought I should get paid for them. And I went after a clientele that was able to pay those prices. And I had a problem. I had a first world problem. The first world problem was I got bored making the same pieces over and over again. That's why I stopped taking commission work and did school, started the YouTube thing, filmed myself building stuff because I wanted to branch out and build things I was interested in building instead of things other people wanted me to make for their homes that at one time I was interested in building. So my point to you is, how much would you sell it for? Well, a rocker as high as $12,000, tables or chairs for $5,000, a table for $10,000. Some chairs lower, $1,500, $2,000. Depends on the piece. Full dining set, it could be a lot. So my point is, if if you have a high quality product, there's people that are able to pay that. You just got to go find them. This table you're working on, so this coffee table, I don't know, it's $5,000, $6,500 probably is what I'd price it at. Me, myself. Let's see. So, let's see what else. Let's see, lumber rack. You guys saw the clamp rack, and that's the entrance to the shop. This is the entrance into Elizabeth's shop. She has a 14 by 14 space here. And then my tool cabinet, as you guys saw, and my 2 lights. I shoot with a Canon 80D with a 24 to 105 L lens. I actually have 2 of these, so when I need a 2-camera setup, I've got 2 of the exact same cameras, so it has the same color. Homemade furniture is worth more than any factory. Yeah, I agree with you. I use a Sennheiser wireless mic kit. That's the receiver. I usually actually have another screen on here that displays this larger than what this little guy does right here. But for the most part, if I'm relatively close, I can use this. Otherwise, if I'm farther away, I need another screen here to set up the shot. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you have questions, please throw them down. I'd love to answer them. Talk about why move to Atlanta business. Yes, Nathan, definitely business related. That was the move to Atlanta. So I like it. We're in a great little town. It's cute. There's lots of great restaurants. We can walk downtown from where we are, the town that we live in. And I have this beautiful shop, so I can't complain. It's fantastic. I'm really loving this Lee Nielsen bench, by the way. The tail vise is fantastic. The vise here is pretty good. What's your other job? I have a web development company. We write software and support software for the web for clients. Yeah, so this is great. I think there's 12 inches between the two screws. It's not a bench crafted where you just, twirl it once and it closes, but it moves pretty quick. So I'm really loving that. The tabletop is solid all the way through. There's no tool tray or anything like that, which I really appreciate. It's got a good weight to it. Yeah, it's got a good weight to it, and it's great to be able to clamp stuff all the way around the tabletop for the bench. Let's see. Drill press was new. The new dust collector still have the old one. Otherwise, everything from the old shop is here except I built a new assembly table, which some of you guys may have seen, and I used the Rockler legs and then built the stuff inside of it. So I got some storage down here. This is the paper I have on top for when I do finish. Behind it is a pancake Porter cable air compressor. I've got the hose coming out over here. And down below I have some more storage for stuff that doesn't need as much depth. And this has really been great. The torsion box I made a little bit thinner than the last one. I'm loving the height. It's been really nice. I can change these feet out for, you need a huge room for all the dust. Yeah, I know. I can't change these feet out for wheels if I wanted, but I'm not there yet. And yeah, there's a ton of shavings all over. That's because I hand flattened the bottom of this and then brought in the coplaner by hand with my hand planes. So that is what you're seeing all over the place, is all those shavings. I do have a concrete floor, which I'd love to put a floor in here at some point, but that's in the future. Is it walnut? Yes, sir, it's walnut. The base here is walnut. This top is walnut, just needs some finish on it. All the parts for this base came from one slab. The matching slab is right here underneath, and they both came from the same tree and they were matching pieces. So that's this length of a slab. That's how long that piece was that generated everything I needed for this. I have another smaller slab right here. I have a ton of ebony up here. There's some Bolivian rosewood up here. This is all cocobolo right here, and these two pieces are book match slabs. So those two are book match slabs. Cool, I love mahogany. I got some here right now, and all the green furniture I built out of genuine mahogany, and it's a great wood to work with. I love it too. So I think that's pretty much it, unless you guys have more questions, which I'd love to answer. So did a little quick shop tour, showed you the base, the tabletop, some stuff in the shop. Really appreciate everybody for hanging out with me tonight. It was a lot of fun. Otherwise, everybody have a great week in the shop, and I'll talk to you guys another time.